Well, basically, if you set yourself up properly for a hike, you can do it solo. Are you looking to get out on a solo hike? Well, if you clicked on this video, I assume so. And I assume you've probably had some limitations as to why you didn't so far. And I did as well. So today's video, we're gonna basically show you guys what this hike was like up to 8,000 feet at Ontario Peak in Annapolis National Park. Show you guys some beautiful B-roll and some nice ambient music, so sit back and relax. And on the back end, I'm gonna share with you guys 4 main things. The first off is the research and preparation I did before the hike. Secondly, what I chose to do for safety. Thirdly, the provisions I had as far as water and food that were enough for an 8-hour out and back trip. And then lastly, the gear that I used. So I'll see you guys on the back end after this beautiful B-roll and you guys enjoy this hike up to Ontario Peak.
All right, here we go. Ontario Peak, getting started a little bit after 8 a.m. this morning. And yeah, first solo hike of 2022. Let's do it. Up through Kelly's camp and towards the summit of Ontario Peak at 8,006. Yeah, post tone a little bit kind of slippery with the top. Like I said, about an inch of snow at most. Crunch underneath, so it's definitely a variety. Good amount of tracks you can see, some go different directions, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going the wrong one, and somebody didn't make their own path or go completely somewhere else that they shouldn't have. So the Old Trails is definitely helping out. And then another epic view back towards that snow-covered mountain range out there. An update about 20 steps later. Trust the GPS. Just kind of cut further across on the high area. Kind of my going down to my knees in the snow. But having traction with the poles and the marker spikes, and just cut past the trees, and I do see a lot more footprints leading up that way. So gonna continue on. Yeah, that's the peak that I'm looking at right there. So based off the GPS, I'm thinking that's where we're going, and we'll see here shortly. Trail's a little bit more moderate now. Back there I was traversing across and having to really lean hard left and get those poles in hard so I didn't slide down the mountain. Now this is a lot easier. Whew. And very welcomed. Views out that way. It is so peaceful when the wind stops. Well, if you guys can hear me, just came from that peak over there, and looks like the one behind me right there hopefully is it. Again, he's pointing forward. How much further forward, I don't know. Only one peak in front of me. And oh wow, okay. Here it is. Oh goodness. Ontario Peak, 8,696 feet. Woo! That's the best I can spin out right now. Yeah! Hey everybody, so here at the top of Ontario Peak here in California at 8,696 feet, and it's been fun. It was definitely arduous getting up here. It was not easy, but yeah, now I'm gonna head back down. But due to time constraints and also not wanting to keep pulling the phone every 5 minutes there, I'm going to wrap the video up here. So thank you guys for coming along with me on today's journey to the top of Ontario Peak. Hey everyone, thanks for coming on the hike with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And now on to the review.
So first off is the research and the pre-planning for any particular hike out there. So I relied on All Trails, and I actually upgraded to the Pro version, which is $30 a year and definitely worth it. Before all the hikes I do, you always just check the hiker comments down below of people who've went before you, and that's especially important during changing climate times, such as the winter, where one day it could snow, then it could be icy, and then it could be dry. So I did just that for the Ontario Peak hike. I checked what other hikers had put up there for this particular week. Thankfully, somebody else went 2 days before me, so it was very helpful. But the bigger aspect that was helpful with the All Trails Pro version was the GPS. So I basically made sure I had a fully charged phone, utilized the All Trails app and the GPS, pointing it towards different ways I was going on the trail, as well as had a battery pack to make sure to stay charged. And this was the lifesaver to make sure I got up to the peak and back in a safe manner and try to stay close to the trail. Second topic would be safety. After looking at different hiking blogs, YouTube channels, Instagram handles, most people said they used a Garmin product to make sure they stayed on trail for GPS and or to be able to reach out to people in case of an emergency. So I chose this little one right here, the Garmin InReach Mini. I thought it was good bang for the buck. It will let you message emergency services as well as family and friends. And also if you got in a pickle, you can click the SOS button right here to make sure they can come out and get you if you couldn't get out yourself. So definitely worth it, and we'll jump into this deeper in another video. The next topic, as far as making sure you have the right provisions, I made sure I had a ton of water for an 8-hour out and back hike. It was nice and cool that day, so I didn't drink as much as I thought as fast as I would, so I was able to provision it properly. I also have bananas, clementines, beef jerky, as well as a ton of power bars, and that got me up and back well nourished. Lastly, I made sure I had micro spikes and hiking poles. If you don't have those things for the Ontario Peak hike in the winter, I would definitely not do it. Some other people also recommended crampons. Depends what your abilities are, but for the micro spikes and poles were the only devices that actually kept me on the mountain, not sliding down about 100 feet, especially after the Icehouse Canyon saddle. Between the saddle and the peak, it was very slick at certain points. As well as top of that, I make sure I was fully layered and I had a hood to protect me from the wind because it was quite windy that day. Lastly, what did I learn? Well, basically, if you set yourself up properly for a hike, you can do it solo. And you can do it safely. So I would say go out there, empower yourself with knowledge, just watching videos like this and other videos out there. Make sure you have the right devices, make sure you get the right amount of food and water, and make sure you dress appropriately for the weather conditions, and you'll be all set to get out on your first solo hike and maybe even your first solo winter hike, which is a little bit more tricky. So hopefully you'll learn a lot today. If you did, feel free to like down below, subscribe for more future videos like this one.
Hopefully you'll stick around for future videos, whether it's hiking here in California, hiking throughout the world, or exploring different countries in the world. You'll know what to do until the next video. Do not forget to explore more, and I'll see you there. Cheers.